it's your heart. Welcome back to my channel, to the Witchy Reader. So I'm gonna do a writing vlog. I haven't done one in a while. I'm just gonna get back into writing. Um, uh, with everything going on, I did take a little break, and then this month I was sick for like a week and stuff. So writing was put off again. But I'm feeling better, and I've actually been doing a good amount of writing tonight, and I'm very happy with the progress I've made. I was wondering if I should stop because I feel slightly tired but not really sleepy, and I'm really into my story right now. I don't really want to stop, so I decided to continue. I just finished chapter 16, and right now I'm doing a 4-part flashback. So there's like 4 chapters that all go together. Well, as of right now, depending on how extensive this flashback ends up being, and maybe more chapters, I will not hold it against me to do something like that. But um, I mean, it's just there's like a lot of Khaleesi's past, and you're not even gonna get half of it. Right now, the main focus is learning about this one particular thing and leading up to it. So she's like thousands of years old. So there's a lot of past you're not going to get into even in these 4 chapters. But the points leading up to this one particular point, which is kind of the focal, well, not the, but like one of the focal points of this particular book of the series. And um, so I've been doing that, and I am getting there, so it's exciting. Um, and yeah, so I'm very happy, and I loved the last chapter. It was intense, but I have fun writing it, and it was really good, and I'm very happy with a lot that happened. So yeah, um, I will start chapter 17 now and let you know how that goes.
Won't hide behind a lie another single day. Won't run away, I won't pretend. I'm confident and strong, I'll always be okay. I'll never doubt myself again. This is me, so here I am, not ashamed. Come and catch me if you can. What you see is what you get now, and I won't change a thing. Yeah, I'm sorry, I ain't sorry, 'cause I like being me. So no more waiting on the sideline, no more hiding on the inside, no apologies. Love it or hate it, I'ma just be me. Say no more, don't need your approval. What for? Breaking all the rules, so no apologies. Love it or hate it, I'ma just be me. No one's built quite perfectly, but who cares? I am everything I need. Fitting in is overrated, so don't just play some part.
Never copy,
the 27th, 9:09 p.m. And I did get a lot of writing done yesterday. I didn't end up updating once it was done, but I'm so happy with the progress I made and the direction it was going. I'm going to continue writing now. I'm still on the chapters about Callista's past, and it's something else. I always knew kind of like what her past was, but not like the little details. And I'm just loving the things that's coming to me in the heat of the moment. And there are things I did not foresee that I'm loving, and I love Callista. She's different than, I mean, she's similar, I guess, to the main characters I've had before. I mean, I've had characters like her, but she's also different. She's like strong and independent and a feminist, uh, and queer. So she is a lot like a lot of the main characters I've had in the past. But she's also morally gray. A lot of the characters I've had as my main character in the past are, the entire point is that is the fact that they're kind of pure, innocent, sweet, kind, compassionate, loyal, all those like really great traits. I mean, they all still have flaws, but uh, those are their good traits. Um, like in my Jasmine Press series, Jasmine refused to kill Lilac. She couldn't do it. Um, and then in the Christmas Lights, Skylar was ready to sacrifice herself. So yeah, they're just naturally good-natured, good-hearted characters. And I mean, I've had characters like Kalista before, but I mean, Sydney from um, Christmas Light could be similar to Kalista. But Kalista is the only main character I've had that I consider morally gray. I mean, yeah, she has a good heart and she is working for the greater good. She's, trying to save the world, this and that, but she's also just, she isn't afraid to kill, for one. Um, I was on this podcast on YouTube the other day, and I read a chapter of my book, and yeah, she kind of kills like a dozen, 2 dozen vampires, um, by herself, completely on her own. And yeah, that's kind of a hint to who Khaleesi is as a character, but I love writing her, and I just love some of the things she said in this one chapter I wrote. I mean, that chapter that I had read on the podcast is probably was it might still be my like one of my favorite chapters I've written so far in this book, but this one is pretty up there because I really liked it. Um, but yeah, so I'm going to continue writing and see how this goes. Like I said, I originally was gonna have this be just 4 chapters to get into her past, but it might be more, maybe 5, maybe 6, just because there is a lot to get into. I'm still not gonna be even close to being half of all the things she's been through in the last 1,000 years. But I have like a prequel trilogy planned and everything. Um, that will get more into it, and I also think I've been thinking about writing some novellas for her character as well. Just because there's so much she gets into. They mention some little things she's been into, like um, but they never elaborate. They're just like, oh yeah, she's been to the underworld more than once, but there's a lot of Greek mythology in here too. She's been to the underworld more than once, but like there's like no more elaborating on it than that. So um, there's just so much that I can do with her character, and so many ideas I have for her character that I'm excited for. So there will be a whole prequel trilogy, but that will be more associated to like this these flashbacks. I mean, about like how she escaped Caleb and how she learned to be a vampire and um, all that. But there's also so many individual adventures she went on long after her history with Caleb was over for the time being. Obviously, because Caleb is the main villain, so they have to face each other again. But there's just so many solo adventures she's been on that would be fun to write and for people to see. So yeah, I just have so many ideas, so I went a little bit off track in this conversation. But I'm gonna get to writing and have fun with torturing my character because I guess that's what authors do. Hi, so I keep forgetting to update my blog. It is the 9th, and I've gone good amount done. I've been writing a lot. Uh, I'm on chapter 21 of this, The Vampire's Creation, and I also started a novella, so I have a series of novellas planned for the Realm of Monsters. I'm not big on writing shorter stories like novellas, but I do have some planned for this story, which makes it a little bit easier because most of the lore and the world building is already done, and I can just focus on what the story is about. Because I get explicit in world building sometimes, and yeah. But the set there'll be several novellas all titled Callista's Adventures. That's like the title of the novellas, but then there's also what the novella is about. Like this one, I'm not entirely sure what the title will be for this one. Honestly, I only wrote chapter one. I'm still need to figure a few more things out before I continue it. Um, I know the basis of the story, but I don't know that many details. I mean, it'll only be around 100 pages, but it's just one of Khaleesi's adventures because she's been around for 1,000 years. There's so much you'll never. There's just so much she's been done and stuff. So many adventures she's been on. Some of them are even mentioned in the series, but you never go into detail. So some of those you'll get to see while it's happening. Plus, there's things that aren't even mentioned that I definitely see Khaleesi doing, and I would love to write about. Like anyone who knows, if I've talked about the Realm Monsters, it has some Greek mythology, and um, it's and it's mentioned that she's been to the underworld more than a few times. So this is one of them. It's not her first time going to the underworld, but it's not her last either, because her last time in the underworld was actually talked about a little bit in the Realm Monsters. It didn't say it was her last time, but that's kind of how I see it as her last time going there. So, yeah. Uh, and this is so yeah. There's just a lot of things she's been through, a lot of things she's done. So I want to do some novellas about her adventures. So that'll be fun. Um, and but right now I'm working on the Vampire's Creation. I thought I was done with the flashback chapters, but I realized there's just so much that has to happen in the flashback chapters, and um, I mean there's just so much like because this book is called Vampire's Creation for a reason. So I'm just gonna keep writing the flashback chapters until I feel like it's good and done, and because you find out about Khaleesi's past and the history of all vampires. The title of this book is called Vampire's Creation for a reason. It gets really deep into vampire history, the start of vampires, vampire lore, and also Khaleesi's past because it's all connected. Khaleesi is the main character, and so there's just so much that still needs to be said. Even after she becomes a vampire, there's still some more stuff that needs to be said to show how she, to kind of give an idea from how she got there to where she is now. I mean, it's not going to give the full picture because, like I said, it's been like 1,000 years since became a vampire, and there's a lot of things that happened that got her to this point, which is what the novellas will also help to, so you know how she got to the point where she is. Um, one of the novellas, I don't know which one or what will happen, but the end of it will show the monster realm be created because it was mentioned that she was there when it was created, and that will kind of be the last novella as well because it'll be like showing you how she got to the monster realm, how she is where she is at the start of the realm monsters. So yeah, I have a lot of ideas. Like I said, Khaleesi's at least 1,000 years old, and she's just been through a lot, had so many adventures, good and bad, and yeah. So I just thought I'll update because I haven't keep forgetting that I'm doing this vlog, but I'll update more. I'm currently working on it. I'm on chapter 21, and I think I know what I want chapter 22 to be about. Or maybe it'll be chapter 23. I don't know. I think it'll be chapter 22. But I want at least to get that done tonight. It's 8:52 p.m. But we'll see. It depends on if my motivation's high and my mood and all that. So, but yes, I will update you soon on my progress and let you know how my writing is going. Hello, so it is the 11th of February, and I got so much done. I was only actually a chapter, but it was a long chapter at that, and it took forever. I was originally going to write chapters 23 and 24, which are going to be the last of Khaleesi's flashback chapters for at least now. Um, they it's gonna kind of wrap up some loose ends that we know um, from the parts of her past that are necessary for this book, and including finally meeting someone that has been mentioned several times from Isabella, Henry, and Kalista. So that's exciting. Um, but I ended up not writing chapter 24 last night because chapter 23 took until like 4 in the morning, and then I was tired and wanted to sleep. But I'm very happy with how the chapters turned out. It was a lot longer than I expected, but I introduced this new character, and she has a connection with the person that's going to be introduced this chapter. And she was something else, but I had a blast writing her. She had the best lines, and she was sassy, and she was just a lot of fun to write, despite being, evil. But she was a lot of fun to write nonetheless. And yeah, I finished chapter 23. Took forever. Took several hours. I swear. Um, but it's done, and now I'm going to work on chapter 24, which, like I said, is the last of the flashback chapters, so that's exciting. And then I might work on chapter 25. It depends. I have to go back before the flashback chapters because there's 10 flashback chapters in a row, and see what's the last thing all my characters were doing because they're all still kind of split up. Um, so that I know how to continue after the flashback chapters. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, I'm gonna focus on chapter 24 for now, and then worry about what chapter 25 is gonna be because I have no idea at this moment. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that and let you guys know how it goes. Hello, I wanted to update on my writing blog because I forgot to, but I'm still working on the last of the flashback chapters of the Vampire's creation. I'm kind of stuck on a thing, which is a pretty big thing. So I'm going to figure that out and work on it soon. But in the meantime, I think I don't know if I did actually, I might have. But on this vlog mentioned that I started a novella for the Realm Monsters because there's going to be several Realm Monsters novellas, and they're all going to be like titled Kalista's Adventures and have another like title like that's the novellas. So like Kalista's adventure and then what the adventure is, so for whatever. They're just a series of Kalista's adventures before the Realm Monsters started. Um, but I've also started a new book, which so a while ago, this was a long while ago. This would have been the end of 2021, like around October, November. Um, for the most I read done in October. Robin from the book Wormhole. Definitely go check out her channel, especially if you're a fan of sci-fi, because that's mostly what she does. And she's a great booktuber. I definitely highly recommend. But she read a book called The Meddling Kids. She had it in her wrap up that month, I think. Um, and she hated it. Like seriously, there were so many things. Apparently, according to her, it was like homophobic, and I think she said a bit of transphobic, and um, it was just so bad and toxic, and so many different things. And it was supposed to be a Scooby Doo retelling, and it made her really sad because she was really looking forward to the Scooby Doo retelling because you don't usually see Scooby Doo retellings. You see a bunch of different TV adaptations, but at least I've never heard of a book that's really a Scooby Doo retelling. And um, and at the time it was kind of jokingly like maybe I should write a Scooby Doo retelling and make it actually good. She's like, yeah, you should, and then it kind of became something that actually is gonna happen. And I totally forgot about that because, like I said, that was like over a year ago, and she brought it up the other day in one of our live shows, and because we're on the conversation of Scooby Doo, because I mentioned been rewatching Mystery Incorporated, which is my favorite Scooby Doo TV show by a long shot, and um, so we were on the topic of Scooby Doo, and then she brought up the fact that I had said I was gonna make a Scooby Doo retelling, so there's a good one out there for people, and now it's kind of happening. I actually started. I've jotted down the plot, jotted down the characters, and kind of who they are, and little notes to know understand my characters. And I started the book. I wrote chapter 1, and I'm almost done with chapter 2, and so yeah, that's been fun. The premise is basically they were mystery solvers in high school, and they were close friends since childhood. Um, but then something happened graduation day, and most of the town don't even know exactly what happened. Only they do. And so the first chapter is more of a prologue, so I might change to prologue and then do chapter 1. But where it's explaining the town and the four of them and how they started this, and a little bit about their lives up until graduation, and then chapter 2, or it will be end up being chapter 1 if I change chapter 1 to the prologue. It explains what happened graduation day, and then the next chapter after that will be 10 years later, and it's their high school reunion. None of them have even spoken or been to this town since, and they're all completely different people than they were then. Um, so they were all reluctant to go at first, but then they decided to. But the mystery that they had started trying to solve that was plaguing their town still hasn't been solved because for unknown reasons they all left town. And so they end up going to the high school reunion and realize that this mystery hasn't been solved. So they are trying to finally uncover the mystery and save the town and the townspeople while getting close again and realizing that are trying to figure out who each other are again because they haven't seen each other in 10 years and none of them are the same people. And so yeah, it's just been fun to write, and it's gonna be a standalone, which is a bit different than what I do. I mean, I don't usually do retellings, period, and there will be fantasy elements, but it's not a hardcore fantasy because it is more on the mystery side, obviously. But there will be fantasy elements, because I don't think I can do a book without fantasy elements at some point. Like, I don't think that's in my blood. um, but Robin, who is a lot better with standalones, since that's pretty much all she reads, for the most part, and um, what she writes. I mean, she usually does short stories, but she does have one novel that is a standalone. Um, so she's gonna better read it for me when I'm done. So awesome, thank you, Robin. Um, and I am excited for the story. I think it'll be a lot of fun, especially since I'm currently in my Scooby Doo era with rewatching Mystery Incorporated. I have several Mystery Incorporated related videos scheduled for my TV channel, so I'll link that down. And maybe you guys can check it out if you're a fan of Scooby Doo, especially if you're a fan of Mystery Incorporated, because there's gonna be one out I'm about to film, so there'll be one out in a couple days. Um, but yeah, I'm very excited for the videos I have planned, and yeah, I'm very much in a Scooby Doo mood. Maybe I'll even rewatch the live action movies, which I haven't seen in a while, which I absolutely love. So yeah, thank you, and I'll update you soon. I think I'm doing more sprints tomorrow on a live show, so I don't know if I'll be working on Vampire Education or the Scooby Doo retelling. The title is still I have a it's not like I have a title, but it's not like the finalized version. I haven't decided if I'm gonna keep that title or discard it. But yeah, so if anyone has ideas, please throw them my way. But so I'm probably gonna work on the Scooby Doo retelling just because like I said, I'm still am stuck on that part of the Vampire's Creation, which sucks because I really do want to at least finish these flashback chapters because they were supposed to be done before, but then I realized there's just so much that still needs to happen for you to understand not only Khaleesi's past and the Caleb as a villain, but also the entire history of vampires, which is obviously the title, which is obviously has something to do with the title of the book, Vampire's Creation. So yeah, but I hope to figure that out soon so I can at least finish the flashback chapters because this is the last flashback chapter for sure, and I'm stuck on a thing. So hopefully I can figure it out. I mean, maybe Robin and Tiffany on the because Robin has helped me in the past when I was stuck. We'd be talking about it and would figure it out. Whichever one of us was stuck. So maybe on the live show she could help me. We'll see. But yeah, I will update you guys soon when I have more things to update you on. Hello, I have not been updating my blog. Oops. Um, so I'm not sure if I mentioned this in my last update. I probably did, but I started a Scooby Doo retelling. Uh, it's gonna be titled Looks like we've got another mystery on our hands. Kind of a long title, but oh well. Um, and I'm happy with the direction it's going so far. I'm not very far into it. I've done the prologue, chapter 1, and chapter 2. That's it. It's gonna be it's a lot different than what I usually do. There will still be fantasy elements because I don't think I know how to write something without any fantasy at all. But obviously the main thing is gonna be mystery because it's still Scooby Doo, and Scooby Doo has always been about mystery. And it's also gonna be a standalone. Not planning to make this into a series. So it's very different than what I usually write. But for people that have been watching my writing slash reading vlogs I've been doing for years, at the end of I want to say 2021 in October, Monster High Readathon that I co-host every year. Um, one of my writing slash reading friends and one of the co-hosts of the Monster High Readathon, because there's three of us, read a book that she was very excited about. It was the Scooby Doo retelling. She's never heard of that, so she picked it up, but it ended up being like one of her worst reads ever, even to this day, because we were talking about it recently, and she was like, it's still one of the worst books she's ever read, since starting booktube at least, and so, and then back then I was like, it was kind of as a joke back then. I didn't know if I was actually gonna do it, but it became serious. But I was like, how about I write a good? Because she was also very excited for like it had LGBTQ representation, but according to her, they did not do well with that. But I was like, how about I write a Scooby Doo retelling? She's like, you should. And I was like, that would be a lot of fun. And then we were talking about it recently, a, a sprint we did recently because I mentioned that I was rewatching one of my favorite Scooby Doo adaptations, Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated, and and then she reminded me about me saying I was gonna make a Scooby Doo retelling, and I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So I plotted down ideas and I started the book, and I'm liking where it's going. They have different names and stuff. Um, it's gonna have like the same theme of them solving this huge mystery and stuff, but they have different names. They're not called Mystery Incorporated or anything. But the characters are still you know, based off of the characters, have kind of same personality sometimes, and I titled it "Looks like we've got another mystery on our hands" because it's kind of a famous Scooby Doo quote. So this way people will know, hey, this is a Scooby Doo retelling. At least that's my hope. Um, and yeah, like I said, I've done the prologue, chapter 1 and chapter 2, so I'm on chapter 3. The so basically what it's about is um there's something supernatural in their town that and a bunch of and their town's always like getting attacked and stuff. And they always have to solve the mysteries, but um graduation day they were hoping to finally end it, but it did not work out that way, and they're basically, and then nobody exactly knows what happened on graduation day, but the four of them, and so then it's 10 years later, and they have to and then it's the 10-year reunion for their high school, and they have not spoken to each other nor been back to that town in 10 years. They all have very different lives and things you would not expect. Their lives are just completely different, and they have completely changed from who they were in high school. And then they go back and they decide to finally finish this mystery once and for all. So yeah, I'm very excited for it. But I've also started writing the Vampire's Creation again because I took a break from that for a few weeks because I was stuck. But I finally got past where I was stuck. I didn't finish the chapter. I'm still on the last flashback chapter because there's like 10 flashback chapters in a row because there's a lot you need to learn about Khaleesi's past and vampire history. I did not end up finishing the chapter like I wanted to last night because I wasn't feeling well, so I ended up going to bed and it was pretty late anyways. Um, but I did finish that a couple scenes in the chapter, and I got past where I was stuck, and I'm hoping I won't get stuck again, at least for a little while, so I can at least finish the flashback chapters, and then I can move on. And I probably have to go back before the flashback chapters and reread what I wrote before I started the flashback chapters, because I still remember what the heck my characters are doing in the present time, because I do not know what my characters are doing in the present time. Actually, that's not true. I know what some of my characters are doing, but not the others. So yeah. Um, but yeah. So that is how my writing is going. I'll probably upload this vlog soon, maybe in a week or so. Um, so yeah, so I thought I'll update you, let you guys know how that's going. Um, my friend that I told you about the Scooby-Doo retelling is Robin from the book Wormhole. So like I said, I do not remember I talked about the Scooby-Doo retelling yet in this vlog because I haven't been updating, so I don't know what my last update was about. But yeah, so you guys should definitely subscribe to her. She's great. She mostly does sci-fi. But yeah, so I am very excited for the Scooby-Doo retelling and the Vampire's Creation. I plan to work on them both because I want to get them both published this year. I want to get Vampire's Creation published first because the Realm of Monsters I had published and on Halloween, and I want to get Vampire's Creation published at least by June. And it is March. Yeah, I still have plenty of time. I tend to write pretty fast as long as if I'm actually writing, which I don't usually go that long without writing, except for in extreme circumstances. Um, and then the Scooby Doo retelling I hope to publish, or maybe I'll publish it next year. I might do that. I don't know. I kind of want to publish it this year just because I'm doing an um, acknowledgement thing at the end where I talk about my dad who passed in November. So yeah, I kind of want to publish that and do the acknowledgments. Um, but yeah, and then I also have to do the last book in the Realm of Monsters trilogy. But I think there'll be a prequel trilogy. There'll at least be a prequel. I think it's gonna be a trilogy. I'll have to see. And then I also have novellas planned. But I might work on another series because I also after this series I do really want to work on my skeleton series I have planned. I've already done some of the first book, and there's gonna be 6 books of that. So I took a break from the sequel series I've been I started for the I have a lot of book ideas and several started that I just have on hold. The Chris's Light duology. I have a duology sequel series for that where one side character becomes the main character. But I also took a break from that to work on some new series. And then I'll work on that again and publish those. Same with the other books that I plan to make for the Realm of Monsters. Because after the Realm of Monsters trilogy and the Scooby Doo retelling, what I want to work on is the Skeleton series. The series title is called The Tales of the Grim Reaper. Book 1 is called Skeleton Bride. I got that idea a few years ago because of my Halloween costume. On my way back from a Halloween party, I came up with this entire story idea, and next thing I knew, it's a 6-book series. So, yes, I think I still have the costume too. I might be wrong. It may have burned in the house fire in September. I have no idea. Actually, no, I don't think it did. I think I saved it. I think it's in there. The veil and the dress. So yeah, um, maybe I'll put it on for one of these updates for this vlog so you guys can see it. I don't know, we'll see. um, but yeah, so thank you for watching this. I will update you again soon and let you guys know how my writing is going. I'm thinking about writing right now. I don't know. I mean, I have the motivation and I do really want to finish the chapter, but at the same time, I've been kind of feeling like crap since yesterday. So it depends. If not today, then hopefully tomorrow at the latest, because I really want to finish this chapter. I feel like I've been working on this chapter forever. I feel like I've been working on the flashback chapters forever. I was originally gonna do like 4 flashback chapters. The next thing I knew, there was a fifth, and a sixth, and a seventh, and an eighth, and a ninth, and a 10th, which is gonna be the last one for sure. I know that for sure. But it's just there was just so much I had to write for Khaleesi's past and vampire history because I mean the book is called The Vampire's Creation for a reason, and Khaleesi's past has a lot to do with vampire history. So I had to explain a lot, and it just yeah. So there's a good portion about this that's about the past. So exciting. And then so yeah, I do hope to finish that, and whew, I got chill. I'll let you guys know how that goes. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Hi. So I did end up finishing the last of the flashback chapters, um, and then not yesterday, but the day before, when I was able to write, and I write a lot. I wrote a lot more than I thought I would. I wrote chapters 25, 26, and 27, all of them. I started chapter 25 and ended with chapter 27, finishing off. I wrote all 3 chapters. Yeah. And I mean, they're not long chapters, but the fact that I wrote 3 chapters in one sitting, and I'm not kidding, one sitting, I think that's the best I've done in a while. Um, I mean, written a lot before in one sitting, but I'd say that's the most I've done in a while. Um, so yeah, I'm very happy with myself. And yesterday I wanted to write chapters 28, 29, and 30. But then I wasn't feeling well. And I was like really dizzy and stuff, so I ended up lying down at like, it was before 7, which I don't lie down before 7 unless I'm just watching TV because I'm bored. But so I didn't end up doing much of anything because I wasn't feeling well yesterday. And I woke up not feeling too well today, but I'm feeling a bit better. Still don't know if I'm gonna end up getting any writing done, but it's only 1:06 p.m. Um, I thought it was later than that. It feels later than that. But yeah, so I hope that I realize that I tend to write more in the afternoon, like after dinner time, and then write at night. I don't know why, but I just gravitate towards writing at night, and I don't do that on purpose. It's not like I'm free at night and not during the day, and I decide to write at night. I just tend to write at night, and I don't even know why. But yeah, so I want to uh work on those 3 chapters. I hope I can today. It depends on how I feel when I am in a writing mood. Like I said, my writing moods usually are at later in the day, but so it depends. And even if I am in the writing mood, I may not be in the mood to write 3 whole chapters like I did the other day. So it all depends on my mood. But I do hope to finish up to chapter 30 at least. Um, I know 30 chapters seems like a lot, but I've read books that had like a lot more chapters than that, and I'm not even. I think I might be halfway, and that's it. But the first book, The Realm Monsters, actually had 50 chapters, but most of the chapters, except for every now and then, are for this series have been pretty short. So that's why there seems to be a lot more chapters. I mean, I at like 250 pages, and the first book was over 500 pages, so this is probably gonna be over 600 at least. Um, so I may not even be halfway. I don't honestly know how long this book's gonna be. I have the ideas written down somewhere on my phone over there, but I'm going to just write until I'm done writing, basically. That's usually how it is. I plot like the major things, but a lot of the details, some of my best ideas comes to me in the heat of the moment, and uh, I just I don't have a certain word count, page count, chapter count, whatever. I just write until I feel good with how my story is, and then I edit. But yeah, so yeah, we'll see how long this book ends up being, but it's probably gonna be longer than the first book it usually is. So, um, I mean, The Realm of Monsters is not my biggest book, but it is the biggest out of the first books in my series so far. This is my third series so far. Um, and my biggest book will be the sequel to The Curse's Light, The Witch of Light. Um, Witch of Light is like over 700, I think maybe close to 800 pages, maybe a little bit over. I'm not entirely sure. I'm surprised it ended up being that long, but I guess I had a lot to write. And I feel like it ended up being that way because it was only a duology, and some of the characters that were very minor characters in the first book got a huge role in the second book. So I think that made it longer, so I had enough screen time for all my characters, and not just my main character. So yeah, but oh well. Um, but yeah, the first books in series haven't actually been over 500 pages yet. I think The Curse's Light was like 400 some pages. I think my first Jasmine Press book wasn't too much longer than 300, so maybe a little bit less. So yeah, but anyways, I am happy with how the Vampire's Creation is coming so far, and I'll let you guys know if I do end up writing those 3 chapters tonight, or if I end up writing anything tonight. I'll let you just know when I end up writing. Hey, so I know I am a little late with this update. I did get some writing done, not as much as I wanted to. I was hoping to get chapters 27 or 28, 29, and 30 done. I finished chapter 28 in one sitting. Then I started chapter 29, but kind of stopped. Um, cause things, and I I don't know what we're working on it tonight. I want to film a video. I want to read, but I'm also starting to feel like crap. So I definitely want to get the filming done, but I don't know if I'm gonna end up being able to read because I just feel like crap. So yeah, but I will probably be uploading this vlog soon, and I want to at least finish chapters 29, 30, and then I'll probably upload this vlog. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I'm a little over halfway done. At least I think this book will be around the same amount as the first book, maybe a little bit bigger. Sequels are usually bigger than the first one, at least. But yeah, the first book was around 500 pages, so the second book's probably going to be there, and I'm already almost at 300. So yeah, I don't think it'll be any over 600 if I even get to 600 pages. But yeah, um, so yeah, but the scene I'm on, they're about to fight, but it's not the final fight of the book, and definitely not the final fight of the series since there's going to be one more in the trilogy. There's also going to be a prequel trilogy. Those flashback chapters I've been talking about that I finally finished, those are kind of are like a setup to the prequel trilogy. Uh, so the prequel trilogy is kind of gonna start. So like how it ends is kind of how the prequel trilogy starts. It might be a little bit in the future, like a year, but yeah. Um, but yeah, so I'm excited. I finally have a good idea about what the prequel trilogy is gonna be about, and some of the novellas which I want to write. just because there's so much of Khaleesi's past that you'll never find out, that I will never even be able to tell. So I want to tell some of her adventures in the prequel trilogy and the novellas if I can. So yeah. But yeah, I'll update you more when I get some writing done. Like I said, I probably won't be doing any writing tonight, but I hope to tomorrow, and I hope in the next couple of days to finish chapter 29, and to write chapter 30. So yeah.
Won't hide behind a lie another single day. Won't run away, I won't pretend. I'm confident and strong, I'll always be okay. I'll never doubt myself again. This is me, so here I am. Not ashamed, come and catch me if you can. What you see is what you get now, and I won't change a thing. Yeah, I'm sorry, I ain't sorry, 'cause I like being me. So no more waiting on the sidelines, no more hiding on the inside, no apologies. Love it or hate it, I'ma just be me. Saying no more, don't need your approval. What for? Breaking all the rules, so no apologies. Love it or hate it, I'ma just be me. No one's built quite perfectly, but who cares? I am everything I need. Fitting in is overrated, so don't just play some part.
Never copied, duplicated, just be who you are.
So no more waiting on the sidelines, no more hiding on the inside, no apologies. Love it or hate it, I'ma just be me. So no more waiting on the sidelines, no more hiding on the inside, no apologies. Love it or hate it, I'ma just be me. Say no more, don't need your approval. What for? Breaking all the rules, so no apologies. Love it or hate it, I'ma just be me. So no more waiting on the sidelines, no more hiding on the inside, no apologies. Love it or hate it, I'ma just be me. Say no more, don't need your approval. What for? Breaking all the rules, so no apologies. Love it or hate it, I'ma just be me.
Hi, so I haven't been updating. I know it's taking forever to get this writing vlog out there, but luckily this will be the last update. I have one more video I want to get out to post tomorrow, but in a few days or so, I want to have this one out. But I also have to edit, and editing, I'm probably gonna procrastinate a little bit, so maybe another week. Sorry, but um. I think in my last update I said I wanted to finish chapters 29 and 30. As you saw, last update when I was writing, I that was chapter 30. The other day I also worked on chapter 3 of looks like we've got another mystery on our hands, which is my Scooby-Doo retelling. I just got in a mood to do another chapter in that, so I wanted to do that that day because I wanted to write, but I think I was a little bit stuck on the Vampire's Creation as well, which is another reason why I'm glad to have so many WPs started, even if most of them are on hold. So that if I have writer's block, then I can still get plenty of writing done, and one of my stories can still get progress. So um, but yeah, so um, fun, and I worked on chapter 29 a little while ago. I wasn't writing for good week. A lot's been going on here. Life's just been stressful lately, and the weather's been changing drastically, so we're not getting over the sickness that is like coming and going. So I wasn't feeling well for a little bit, but things are looking up and things aren't as stressful. So I'm finally able to get some writing done. I just finished chapter 30. I think I'm still gonna write a little bit tonight, but just lots of days for the writing vlog. So yeah. Um, but yeah, so I finished chapter 30, which I'm very happy about. I have no idea how many chapters this is going to be, but it's probably going to be no less than 50 because the first book had 50 chapters. And, but most of the chapters, except for a few rare ones, are pretty short in this series, which is why there's so many chapters because a lot of the chapters are on the shorter side. But don't get me wrong, there are a few that are a bit longer, but that happens sometimes. um, but yeah, I like where the story is going. I'm on an intense scene. I haven't actually started chapter 31 yet, but these next few chapters are gonna be pretty intense, so that's fun. But yeah, I'm happy to finally get some writing done and finish chapter 30 of The Vampire's Creation, and I hope to work on it a lot next month. It's April. It's not April. It's March 29th. That was 23rd. I just okay. My mind. It's late. It's 10:38 p.m. here. Um. So. Yeah. It's March 29th. So I plan to get a lot of writing done next month. A lot. Um. Will I finish the Vampire's Creation? At least the first draft? I don't know. I hope so. Um. But also depends on how much I get stuck because I'm trying to think about. I have things written down on my phone somewhere. I need to look at it, see what ideas I have. I know what I want the ending to kind of be of this book. There's still gonna be one more book in the series, so things aren't completely solved. But this is also a bit different than most of my series. Because usually there's that one big bad, and he's the big bad. He or she is the big bad throughout the entire series, except if it's like a prequel or a sequel series. Because I know, I have my Jazz Press series has a prequel, which obviously, I mean, the prequel is about the villain though. It's a villain origin story. It's about how she became the villain. So she didn't start out the villain. And it wasn't really necessarily a villain in that one. It was just her how she became the villain. And then the Curses Light duology, which is published, it has a sequel series which is not published yet. Not even book one is published yet, which will also be a duology. But book one has been started. I don't know how far I'm on, but I got pretty far before I took a break to focus on this series. And then this series, the Realm of Monsters trilogy, will have a prequel series plus novellas. Prequel trilogy. The prequel will be a trilogy as well. And so but the main series has like one main big bad, even if they have sidekicks or helpers or whatever, accomplices, whatever you want to call them. But and so I lost my train of thought. It's late. My mind's not here. But this one's a little bit different because right now there are two people that are working together. But I don't know if I really want to spoil anything. But if you don't want to be spoiled because you plan to read my series, I will. I'll link the Realm Monsters in the description. Since that's book one, you guys can already go get book one, and then wait for book two to be published, which I'm hoping will be published in June, maybe July. We'll see. Um, I don't usually take that long with editing because I usually don't think my first draft is completely terrible, and I usually like what I do, except I have to fix the like errors and stuff. And usually there are a few things that I want to either rephrase or change a little bit, or maybe so a lot of times I want to add scenes. Hardly ever do I ever end up taking away scenes. But yeah, I got off track a little bit, but so I'll link that. But if you don't want to be spoiled because you plan to get my book, then skip a few minutes or just a minute. It won't take that long to say. But Caleb, the big bad, actually is defeated at the end of book two, will be, because I haven't gotten there yet. But because his accomplice, which you meet at the end of book 1, um, is the big bad in book 3. Since Caleb's defeated, she completely takes over. Well, she's already kind of taken over in the monster realm, because their main fight right now is in the mortal realm. When they go back at the end of book 2 to the monster realm, she's taken over and things are terrible. So now they have a new problem. So once they think everything's good, boom, everything's not, and their fight is not over because things went to hell when they left. But yeah, so that's always fun. um, but I'm excited for what I have planned, and I am excited to write this. And my idea for the prequel trilogy, I don't really have many details planned. I know the general idea of what it's going to be about. Um, I'm struggling to find a name for it, but I do have one of the novellas already started. I think I have like one chapter in it written. Because I have several novellas planned. Because my MC Calista Dagon, she is 1,000 years old at least. There's a lot of her that you'll never. There's a lot of her past that you will never discover. So I'm trying to let you know some of her past. There's the prequel. There's like 10 chapters in a row that's about Khaleesi's past. It's kind of about how she became a vampire. Shows how vampires were created. Period, and shows her past with Caleb and a lot. So the prequel trilogy won't actually be about her past with Caleb, which you think it would, because it's kind of so the prequel trilogy is going to kind of start a little bit after where the flashback chapters ended. But there will be new issues that she has to do and things that she has to, So yeah. Um And then I have novellas because she's had a lot of adventures. She's been to several wars. She's been to the underworld a few times. The one I started is about her going to the underworld. Right now I have a title Underworld, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep that title or not. Um I don't know, maybe I'll name it Khaleesi Goes to the Underworld so readers have more of an idea that it's part of a series or something. I don't know. But yeah, so I got a little off topic here. But I'm going to leave it off here because I ranted a little bit. But I'm very happy with what I have planned and how in the direction my story is going. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment how your writing's going. If you plan to get the Realm Monsters and if you hope in the Vampire's Creation once it's published. And I will talk to you guys in the comments. Until next time.